A sudden disturbance in the crystal-clear waters of Réunion Island disrupts the usual harmony of the dolphin pod. The marine biologists aboard the research vessel exchange tense glances as the sonar screen flickers. The once peaceful depths hide something unknown, waiting to surface. Dr. Elisa, the lead marine biologist, scans the horizon, her heart pounding. "These readings don't make sense," she whispers, watching the dolphins dive erratically. Something is spooking them, but it's not a predator. At least, not one they've ever encountered before. As the crew dives into the warm tropical waters, they feel the unsettling shift in the dolphins' behavior. The pod circles tighter, their usual playful energy replaced by anxious flickers of movement. A shadow looms beneath them, too deep to discern. An eerie silence falls over the team as they spot an anomaly. A strange, metallic object embedded in the seabed. It's old, too old, and yet alive. The dolphins seem drawn to it, their sonar clicks growing louder, as if trying to communicate with something deep below. As Elisa approaches the object, her underwater camera starts malfunctioning. Static and interference cloud the screen, but a fleeting glimpse reveals symbols etched onto the metal surface, unlike anything she's ever seen. The dolphins swim closer, their movements synchronized, as if guarding the artifact. Suddenly, the dolphins scatter, darting away as the water around the object begins to churn violently. The once calm sea transforms into a chaotic whirlpool, pulling the marine biologists toward the abyss. Elisa yells through her communicator, "Get to the surface, now." Back on the boat, the team gasps for breath, but the ocean remains eerily calm, as if the disturbance never happened. "What was that?" one of the divers mutters. Elisa shakes her head, still gripping the strange symbols in her mind. "We're not alone down there." Night falls, and the team docks near the island, but unease hangs thick in the air. The dolphins have vanished from the bay, leaving only the sounds of distant waves and wind. Elisa stares at the water, feeling the weight of an invisible gaze from beneath. Elisa dreams of the dolphins, their eyes glowing in the dark waters, as they lead her to the artifact buried deep beneath the island's cliffs. She awakens in a cold sweat, the vision so vivid it feels like a message, a warning. Something is about to happen. The next morning, the team finds the dolphins gathered near the shore, motionless, staring out to sea. Their eyes reflect an unnatural light, mirroring the symbols Elisa saw on the artifact.
"They know something."
She whispers.
"But what are they trying to tell us?"
Dr. Malik, the team's oceanographer, suggests they send a submersible down to examine the artifact. As it descends, the live feed shows eerie, deep-sea life forms hovering near the object, watching with strange, glowing eyes.
"This isn't normal,"
Malik murmurs. The submersible suddenly loses power, plunging into the darkness below. The screen goes black and static fills the comms. Panic sets in as the biologists scramble to regain control, but the dolphins remain eerily calm, still staring out into the abyss as if waiting. Hours pass, and just as hope begins to wane, the submersible's feed flickers back to life. What appears on the screen is chilling, a massive, pulsating structure that resembles a living organism, tangled with remnants of shipwrecks and bones, all eerily close to the artifact. As the dolphins disappear, the water around the boat starts to pulse in rhythm with the structure below. Elisa grips the rail, her mind racing.
"It's not just an artifact, it's alive." She whispers. The revelation sends chills down her spine as the pulse intensifies.
Night falls again, and the island is cloaked in an unsettling silence. The team gathers around a campfire on the shore, their faces lit by the flickering flames.
There's something ancient beneath this island.
Malik says.
Something that's waking up.
The following morning, the island's weather takes a sudden turn. Dark clouds swirl overhead, and the sea becomes restless. Elisa watches from the shore as the dolphins return, circling closer to the island, their behavior more frantic than ever.
It's like they're warning us,
she says, her voice trembling. In a desperate attempt to understand what they've uncovered, the team revisits the footage of the artifact. As they slow it down frame by frame, they notice movement, small, snake-like tendrils that seem to pulse with energy, extending from the structure toward the dolphins. Before they can react, a deafening roar erupts from the sea. The water boils, and the dolphins breach the surface in a panicked frenzy, their movements synchronized as if under the control of an unseen force. The sky darkens as something massive stirs beneath the waves. The water swells unnaturally, and from the depths, a colossal, shadowy figure begins to rise, barely visible beneath the surface. The dolphins circle tighter, their whistles merging into an eerie harmony that echoes across the island.
We're too close,
Elisa whispers, her voice barely audible over the rising storm. The dolphins abruptly stop their synchronized movement and dive deep into the water, leaving the surface eerily still.
They're leaving us.
One of the researchers mutters in disbelief. Elisa watches, torn between fear and fascination.
Whatever's coming, they're on their own now.
Out of the stillness, a massive wave rises. From its depths, a gigantic, ancient form emerges, a creature covered in barnacles and seaweed, its form vaguely humanoid, with glowing eyes that pierce the stormy skies. The dolphins had been its watchers, its guardians. Now it awakens. As the colossal creature rises fully from the depths, the ground shakes violently beneath their feet. Its glowing eyes lock onto the shore, as if aware of the biologist's presence. Elisa's breath catches in her throat.
It's not just ancient. It's sentient.
She whispers. The dolphins had been warning them all along. In the chaos, Malik grabs Elisa's arm, shouting over the storm.
We need to reach the research station. There might be records. Something about this thing.
Elisa hesitates, glancing back at the creature, but the urgency in Malik's voice pulls her back. They scramble towards safety. Inside the research station, they frantically sift through old documents and logs left by previous expeditions. Elisa's fingers stop on a worn, ancient map of Réunion Island. Strange symbols, the same ones from the artifact, are scrawled across it.
This creature. It's been here for centuries.
She realizes. Malik's voice shakes as he reads aloud from a weathered journal.
The dolphins protect the balance. Should the guardian awaken, the island will fall.
The words hit them like a blow. Elisa stares at the map. There's only one place where the guardian can be stopped, an ancient site hidden deep in the island's interior. The island trembles as the guardian's presence draws nearer, its massive form leaving trails in the ocean. Elisa and Malik, joined by the rest of the team, prepare to head toward the ancient site marked on the map.
We've got one chance to stop it,
Elisa says, her voice tight with fear. As they trek through the dense jungle, the atmosphere becomes oppressive. The air is thick with tension, and every rustle of leaves feels like the island itself is watching them. The dolphins remain unseen, but their distant whistles echo, guiding the team toward the unknown. They reach a clearing where the ancient site is located, an enormous stone circle half buried in the earth, covered in strange markings identical to those on the artifact.
This is it.
Elisa breathes, running her fingers over the symbols. The ground shudders again, and they know the guardian is close. As they work to decipher the symbols, the ground splits open with a violent crack. The guardian's form rises in the distance, its glowing eyes fixed on the circle.
We're out of time,
Malik shouts, trying to make sense of the final symbol, one that seems to hold the key to stopping the creature. Elisa realizes the final symbol is a representation of harmony between land, sea, and the creatures that protect them.
The dolphins aren't just guardians.
She whispers.
They're the key to restoring balance.
She looks out to the ocean, hoping for a sign, and then, faintly, sees the pod approaching. As the guardian approaches, towering over them, the dolphins breach the surface of the water in perfect synchronization. Their whistles form a pattern, aligning with the symbols in the stone circle. The guardian pauses, its eyes flickering, as if recognizing the ancient balance. Elisa steps forward, her heart racing as the dolphins circle the guardian. The ground quakes, but instead of chaos, there's a strange calm in the air. The guardian lowers its massive form, drawn by the harmony created between the dolphins and the stone circle.
It's working.
Malik whispers. In one final, breathtaking moment, the guardian sinks back into the ocean, the dolphins guiding it into the depths. The island stills, and the storm clouds part as if the balance has been restored. Elisa exhales, watching as the dolphins disappear into the horizon, their task complete.
Disclaimer: the story presented here is purely a work of fiction and is created for entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to actual locations, events, or individuals is coincidental. The narrative does not intend to portray any place in a negative light, nor does it aim to harm or defame the reputation of any location. Suggestion: for those who enjoy stories in the thriller genre, feel free to subscribe to the Thrill Lab channel to stay updated on upcoming thrilling tales.